This looks good. Hello, welcome back to another YouTube video. I think I just breathed really heavily into that mic, so sorry about that. Thought I'd just take the time now to give a bit of a debrief on the competition over the weekend, because it's been almost a week now since it, and I haven't got around to a video, so I'm getting around to it now, better late than never, and hopefully I've got some clips to b-roll through this, just so you guys can see what it looked like. There will be a video on Instagram when this goes out as well, but a few other clips, a bit of b-roll will be nice in this as well. Don't know why I'm talking about this. Anyway, let's get into it. Overall, this competition was insane. I fucking loved it. It might be one of my favorite experiences competing. And I've competed a few times in a lot of things. In terms of like team sports, I've competed in other team sports at a fairly low level. I was never good at any of them, to be honest. But I've competed multiple times in like martial arts. I suppose you could count the marathons as competing. Probably not. They're just more events than anything else. I wasn't really competing with anyone other than myself. But overall, the powerlifting competition just had it was just incredible. It had an unbelievable sort of environment, atmosphere, and it was all very positive. Even the people that I was competing against, it was all just a very positive environment, a very motivating environment. But yeah, the day started out, it was one of those like sort of panicky new experience where I was kind of just making sure I didn't fucking miss anything. So I woke up at like 4:30, like had breakfast at like 5, and then I was out the door, and like the weigh-in started at 7 o'clock. And when I was driving to where the event was on, in the Marina Market, I think I was like an hour away, so I was going to be well early for this, but I was like, there is no fucking way I am missing anything here. Nerve-wracking at the start. Even I was actually missing deadlift socks, and I was thinking, fuck, are they gonna like, am I gonna get in trouble for this? But no, it was fine. They checked my kit. I told them I'd get the socks before the competition started. That was fine. Had that sorted. Did the weigh-ins. Turned out I was the lightest person at the event, so like in my weight group. So I was in the 93 kilo weight class, so that's like, that ranges between 83 and 93 kilos. I came in at 88.1. That was after breakfast. There was a few guys who like cut down into the weight class. So I was quite light compared to a lot of these guys. Again, I've a lot of experience with lifting, so I didn't think that was going to be much of a factor. So yeah, I just thought it was a funny fact. It was like, I was the lightest guy there. So I thought it was a little bit of a flex, but it wasn't that big of a weight difference really. But yeah, as soon as like the event started, we were like backstage doing the warm-ups, and I was nervous. Like the nerves were insane, especially when I knew I was going out, because as much as I'd been doing these exercises, squat, bench, and deadlift, like multiple times throughout every week for like months and months and years, to be honest, because I've been doing them for like years now consistently, there was still just this level of like nerves and lack of certainty with them. And that kind of happened with the squats. Like I kind of forgot a few things with the squats. So like when I went out to my first attempt, which was 205 kilos, I did the rep, it felt okay, and I got 2 white lights and 1 red light, which meant one judge said it wasn't a rep, and it was on depth, I think. But 2 did, so I got that. So that counted as a rep, but depth was an issue with my squats. The second time around, when I went out for 215, I had that in the back of my mind. It's like, I am going to dive bomb this squat so that there is no question. And I did exactly that. The squat went really well. I sunk into it, drove back up. It was a little bit of a grind, but I got it, and I knew I had it, and I got the 3 white lights. But then we went for my previous 1 rep max, which was 222.5. And I came into this confident. I still had that nervous kind of feeling, that kind of like weird nervy feeling where your legs feel light, stomach feels light, everything just feels kind of like weak, kind of nervous kind of feeling, which I always get I've always gotten in any competition. But yeah, went for the 222.5. Coach reminded me on a few things of standing tall, so that they actually give you the start command, because I would actually start my squats with a bit of a hinge at my hips. You actually have to stand tall and straight up for them to count it as a start position. But anyway, went into that squat, did the rep, immediately knew that it went up way too easily. So I was like, I think I just missed the depth, and lo and behold, I missed it. So I got the 3 red lights, and I looked back at the footage, and I was like, yeah, that was a miss. So I was a bit pissed at that, but then I think that kind of helped me, because then I was like, all right, I got a good squat. I came second in the squats overall, even with the miss on my 3rd attempt. But I was like, there's absolutely no way I'm missing my bench or my deadlifts. So I kind of got in hyper focused there. But yeah, I had a bit of a break after the squats, and I started getting very hungry, and I realized I didn't bring any food with me. Now, anyone who knows the Marina Market knows it's a food court, but all the food there is generally heavy meals, some deep fried meals, high protein, high fat, a bit of carbs there, but it's generally high fat as well, which wouldn't really be good for performance. I needed something light. And thankfully, one of my friends who came, he saved me. He ran to a shop and he brought me back like this bag of jellies that genuinely saved me. I absolutely think they were one of the contributing factors to the fact that I did so well later in the competition. So I was getting empty. I felt empty by the time bench press was coming around after that break. And yeah, he brought the jellies and it saved me. I think it brought me back. After about like a 20-minute break, bench press came around and it was just back to it. So we went back into the warm-up room. I didn't mention with the squats, we would do like warm-ups leading up to our first opener attempt. So the opener is still a heavy weight. You're not starting without a warm-up. You warm up towards whatever you want to open to. So very quick warm-up in the back, and I felt a lot better. I felt a bit more focused doing my warm-up sets. And when I went out to the platform, we were going to start with 125. But my coach decided then and there we're going to change that to 120, so start a bit lighter, get some confidence under the bar. And I think it was a brilliant decision. Did the 120, absolutely destroyed it as an opener. It was easy, it flew. So I was like, okay, I'm feeling good today. The second attempt, went for 127, and that also flew. In fact, the commentator, after I hit it, the commentator went, well, that probably should have been in the, wait, what did he say? What did the commentator say to it? It was like, that looked like just a second opener or something like that. He basically said that looked way too light. And I was like, okay, yes, let's go. But yeah, it was going well. And I could see there was a bit of competitiveness between everyone on the bench press, bar the guy who came first and smoked like 162.5 by the end of the bench press. So there was no competing with everyone else. Was kind of clinging for that second place. And yeah, I think I took it, if I remember correctly. Basically, my last attempt went for 135, and it was my previous 1 rep max that I'd been repeating for the last 2 weeks, and it had gotten progressively better. And then it went even better then on the day. Went for the 132, was super locked in. I knew when I got under the bar and did the setup, like wedged myself into the bench under the bar. I got my leg drive involved, got my arch. I knew from the get-go I was going to get it easily, and I did. It was slow as it would be, but it was a damn good rep. I was delighted with it. So I think I came second on the bench press. By the time deadlifts are coming up, I was on, I think, my third can of monster. So I had 2 on the way up to the competition, and before the competition started. Then I got a third one during the break just to caffeinate myself again. And oh man, I'm usually pretty tolerant to caffeine, but when you're pushing 600 milligrams, you're going to feel it. So I was sweating and basically tweaking out in between my warm-up sets for deadlift. It was hilarious. No one could tell because I was like sitting there like super still like this. But like I could feel sweat running down me, and I was almost vibrating on the chair. It was great. Yeah, same deal. Went through the warm-ups for deadlift, and they were fine. Everything moved really well. There was a few little sort of points that we had to fix with the deadlift, just getting me to stand taller because I had a slight bend on my knee at the top of my reps during the warm-up. So I need a bit of a reminder on that, just to lock it out properly, stand as tall as possible, lock the knees. And yeah, that was kind of the only real thing with deadlifts I had to watch for. But yeah, same thing with deadlifts. We started a little lighter and made bigger jumps, and that tends to work really well for me for most of my lifts. But deadlifts started with 220, and I could sense there was a bit of competitiveness among the group for deadlifts because I came second in the end, but it was a close second. But again, Jack, the other guy who came first, he smoked 260. But the first set on deadlifts, there was an air of competition, real competition there, because there was a lot of guys who wanted to do well with the deadlifts. I could sense people wanted to push past me on it, and that kind of fired me up a little bit. It might be completely my own head, but it fired me up nonetheless. So yeah, we started with the 220, absolutely smoked that, and that gave me some confidence because I'd seen some of the previous reps and some of the lads who had started a bit lighter or at the same weight, and they looked like they had a harder time with their sets than I did with mine. And you know, I'm not being like, everyone did fucking great in the competition, but it was just in my own competitive head. I was like, oh yes, I got the edge. I got the fucking edge. Yeah, on my second attempt, I went for 237, and that got smoked as well. And at this stage now, I'm hyper focused, hyper locked in, and very aggressive. I'm just like in my own space, in my own head, just like fucking, I'm going to absolutely destroy these deadlifts. And yeah, 237 hit it. It felt heavy, but it moved smooth. So I was happy. And then for the last lift, we went for the 255. And this was a really big moment for me. It's not the biggest deadlift I've done. My biggest ever is 260. I did in the gym. But the week or 2 weeks before, which was my last heavy deadlift session, I failed 255 pretty badly, actually. Now, I kind of put it down to the fact that I'd been sick that week and there's just fatigue built up from the prep, but still, it was a bit of a confidence knock at the time. So putting on 255, I was like, man, I gotta get this. Like, I have to fucking get this. So you can even see, like, I was in the live stream footage, and I think my sister took a video, and you could see a few clips. Like, I was fucking, I was eyeing up that bar, and I was like a, what would you call it? I was like a bull getting ready to fucking run through a gate. You know, I was like a bull ready to go. I felt like it was the most aggressive I felt at something in a while. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I heard bar is loaded, and that's when you know you have to go, because that's when your timer starts to do the lift. And I went out, and I remember saying stuff to myself. I can't even remember what I said, but you can see me talking to myself. I genuinely can't remember what I said. Pretty mental, but you know, it worked for me. And I got in towards the bar, got my feet under it, grabbed it, and I slowly started to wedge myself into the bar, and I just started driving with my legs. And the first initial start of the pull moved a bit slower, but then it just soared off the ground. And I can see when I got halfway up that rep, I was like, oh man, I got this. And I made it look good. I knew I made it look good. And I was just had a big smile on my face during the rep. Even though I looked like I'm about to explode, I just had a big smile on my face because I knew I absolutely just smashed that rep. And then put the weight down. I knew I had it, so I hit the crowd with front double biceps, which is crazy work when you think about it. When it's your first competition, you're a newcomer, you're a first timer, and you actually hit the crowd with front double biceps as opposed. Not gonna lie, arms look pretty good, but still crazy work. But yeah, I got it, and it secured second place for me in the competition. The Jack then went after me, hit the 260, and he smashed it, so fucking credit to him. Yeah, that was the event, and I gotta say, like, the environment was great. The support from the people who came with me to support me, fucking amazing. Yeah, and even just everyone, like from Jay doing the videos, he was also helping me out because he's got plenty of experience. And Gary, my coach, he was instrumental in getting me there and then helped me out on the day and just keep me level-headed. But I gotta say, it was one of my favorite experiences competing, and I can safely say I am absolutely gonna do another one. It's 100% guaranteed. I'm gonna do a few more, I think, because it was just so much fucking fun. And I'd like to see how far I could get with it, because it was a good first competition. So I'd like to see if I can get pretty far with powerlifting. But yeah, that's how the day went. Overall, the experience of training leading up to the competition was fantastic. I loved it, just changing up the style of training, really focusing in on one style of training again, because for those who don't know, I've been mixing disciplines for a long time with the likes of running and lifting. Pretty much just those two things. I've just been hybrid training in a sense. So it was nice to focus on one thing really for a while. Still maintaining my cardio to a decent degree, but nothing strenuous at all, to be honest. Definitely think it's time to bring endurance back into the mix for a little bit at least, and push that a little bit, but also then still trying to push my strength up. But no, I'm not putting strength on the sideline for 1 second, because I definitely do think I'm a better strength athlete than I am an endurance athlete. And I think that's purely down to just what I like doing. I don't think it's a genetic thing or I'm just not built for fucking running. I do think it's just an interesting, and I do have much more passion for lifting and strength and building size and building a decent, like building a good physique over running, let's say. But I do love mixing the two. I do love the challenge of it and the adventure of it. And it's just something I'm very curious about, which is balancing these things. Which kind of leads on to my final thing, which is just trying to figure out what the next challenge is. I have some ideas, definitely going to be hybrid related. I still have to nail exactly what I'm going to focus on. But what I can say is I will compete in a powerlifting competition again this year. But I may or may not mix in some endurance with it. Now, how I'm going to do that, I've yet to decide. I have a pretty solid idea in my head, but I just want to get the logistics of it and get the programming down for it have like a roadmap for it. So I will be announcing it soon, but for now, I have to figure that part out. I'm gonna take a bit of time anyway, just to enjoy myself and just to, not enjoy myself because I was enjoying myself, but just to let the body relax for a bit, just train whatever way I want, pick what I'm gonna do in a day, make it up on the day as I feel, just for a little bit, for a few weeks, and then we're gonna nail down another challenge. But yeah, this was fun. This is a fun video to make. It's gonna be less fun to edit, but yeah, that is it. Hopefully you enjoyed watching. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to me yap and ramble and see some B-roll in the background. But yeah, all the best, everyone. If anyone's looking for coaching, link is below. And yeah, that is it. Follow me on socials as well. Subscribe, like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to do that at the start. I need to do that at the start of the video. That would make much more sense. Like and subscribe, share it, comment, whatever. Comment what you want to see next. Comment what you think my next challenge should be. That's actually gonna be a good one. And yeah, coaching, link is in the bio. But yeah, that is it for this video. I will talk to you all again very soon. And yeah, have a good one.